What's up, everybody? I'm Adam. You're watching the Model Aviator channel. I've been dabbling with helicopters for a while now, and I've decided to dive in headfirst and embark on a journey to learn to fly collective pitch helicopters. We want to take you along for the ride, and that's what this series is for. In this first episode, I'll be showing you the tools I'm going to use to do just that, including the latest release from Blade, the Infusion 210. There are a few reasons I want to learn to fly collective helicopters other than the fact that they're just stinking absolutely cool. One is the challenge of it. I've been flying RC airplanes for a long time. I have a very high skill and knowledge level when it comes to that. When it comes to collective RC helicopters, I'm a baby. I'm about that far above a rank novice. Obviously, my RC aviation experience is going to give me a leg up over somebody that's never done anything, sure, but I still have very little skill and very little knowledge when it comes to these. That's humbling and that's exciting. The other thing is collective helicopters fly more realistically than fixed pitch helicopters like this Blade Revolution 90FP. This is a great little indoor fixed pitch helicopter, or really low end outdoor helicopter. I've flown some helicopters from RC era. Those fly a lot like a drone. Really flat turns, a lot of automated modes. Some of them are almost like you got a GPS holding it in place. This one, the Revolution 90, flies more like a helicopter than those. But still, with a fixed pitch helicopter, your pitch and bank angles are very limited. There's only so much you can do with them. You can't do a deep bank turn like a full-scale helicopter. You can't really do any aerobatics other than just spinning the tail. When it comes to collective pitch helicopters, they're a completely different animal. Instead of the main rotor being a fixed pitch and everything that happens with the helicopter being controlled by how much throttle you put into that fixed pitch rotor blade, these have completely variable rotor pitch from all the way positive to all the way negative, and the motor idles up to a predetermined high RPM and pretty much stays at that throttle setting. Everything that happens with the helicopter is determined by what you do with the pitch and which direction. That means that there are no pitch and bank angle limits. You can do any kind of aerobatics that you want to do, from mild to the most aggressive 3D, some more than others to be sure. But one thing is for certain, if you want to fly something like this scale and make it look like a real helicopter, you can absolutely do that. That's what I want to do. I want to learn to do some mild basic aerobatics, and I want to fly helicopters scale. What's on this bench can absolutely get me there. The two primary helicopters I've been using to learn to fly collective are the Blade Revolution 235 CP and the Blade Eclipse 360 Coast Guard Edition. Now, those two helicopters will look very different, and they are, but they share the same modes, and that really helps to teach someone to fly a collective pitch helicopter. Something you have to understand is the difference in collective and fixed pitch. With a fixed pitch helicopter, the left stick is essentially the throttle stick. When it's all the way down, you have no RPM. As you move it up, obviously that ramps up the speed of that main rotor blade. Taking off oftentimes happens before you reach center stick. And oftentimes, to land the helicopter, you have to come down past center stick to get it to come all the way down and fully land the helicopter. And that's a key thing to note, because with a collective pitch helicopter, you actually start with the stick in the center. It's no longer a throttle stick, it is a collective stick now. Your motor will be idled up to a specific high RPM that doesn't really change. That throttle setting doesn't change, it's set. When you move this left stick from center up, you're increasing positive pitch. When you move it from center down, you're increasing negative pitch. In the center, obviously it's neutral pitch or no pitch. So the modes that these two helicopters share, they have three. There's normal, stunt 1, and stunt 2. And normal mode is the money shot for somebody that's learning to fly collective. It works like a fixed pitch and a collective at the same time. So instead of the motor idling up, you will actually start with essentially a throttle stick and a collective stick all in one. In this position, you will have no throttle, no RPMs, but you'll also be at full negative pitch on the main rotor blade. As you move the stick up, it will ramp up the RPMs. When you reach center stick, conveniently, you are at neutral pitch and you're at the idle up RPM. So from there, to actually fly the helicopter, you just simply move the stick up, and that increases positive pitch, and you go flying. To land the airplane, you decrease that positive pitch so that it makes less lift, and you control the descent of the helicopter. You never have to go below it into negative pitch to do anything. So the normal mode teaches you where you need to be with this stick to fly a collective helicopter and get you comfortable there, and that's really, really convenient and very helpful. The other thing is, in the normal mode, you have safe. So there are some pitch and bank angle limits, but not so much that you don't get a feel for what it's like to fly a collective helicopter that has some sensitivity, some responsiveness. It gives you enough leeway. You're still going to learn what to do to hover and fly the helicopter around before you get into the limits. And of course, if you let go of the sticks, and this is neutral and this is neutral, it will self-level for you, which is really good. In stunt 1 and stunt 2, you're in basically full-on collective mode. There is no safe. So there's no self-leveling automatically, and there are no pitch and bank angle limits. And essentially, from normal to stunt 2, that ramps up the RPM or the head speed. So in normal, it goes up to 1 speed up to essentially half stick, and then forward of that, you have a higher RPM and head speed in stunt 1, and even higher than that in stunt 2. Again, full collective control, no pitch and bank angle limits, fully aerobatic. But if you get into trouble in any mode, you always have that panic switch, and it will self-level the helicopter for you, give you a breather, and if you need to, you can flip it back into the normal mode and take a breather where the helicopter is a good bit easier to fly. So well engineered to teach you to fly collective, and I can tell you, it works. The Revolution 235 CP is in the beginning collective helicopter category, and it is an excellent trainer. It has a 22-inch main rotor diameter and weighs in at just over 14 ounces, ready to fly. It has brushless main and tail motors and is intended for use with 3S 850 to 1000 milliamp packs. I'm in the normal mode or beginner mode, so I've got safe working for me. If I neutralize the sticks, it does give me some self-leveling properties, but we've got some wind, and one thing you have to understand is it's not a GPS. It will level the helicopter itself, but it will not keep it from drifting You still have to be on it a bit, although in the normal mode with the lower head speed, it is easier to fly. The wind was blowing right down the runway, so from my perspective, essentially landing in a crosswind, that made it a bit more interesting. And now I've turned the hold switch off. I'm in mode 2 or stunt 1. This is full collective, no save. You'll have to kind of bear with me. I know I'm not doing a lot here. You'll be able to recognize the higher head speed or higher RPM, and this is the first time I've flown any of these helicopters in wind, much less collective in wind, so it doesn't look like much, but it's a big deal to me. The Eclipse 360 Coast Guard is a skill level 2 or intermediate skill level collective helicopter. It has a 30.6-inch main rotor diameter and weighs 33 ounces, ready to fly. It has brushless main and tail rotor motors and is intended for 3S 2200 to 3200 milliamp packs. I'm in the normal mode with this one, and I stay in the normal mode given the wind, my low skill level, and that larger rotor blade. I just felt better doing that. Even though this is an intermediate skill level helicopter or skill level 2, the larger size means that it's smoother and in some respects a little bit easier to fly than a smaller. There is one thing about a larger helicopter and a larger rotor blade that caught me off a bit. You're about to see me make my first big mistake. Lesson learned. Put it into the wind and fly that rotor blade all the way until it stops. Fortunately for me, all it did was scratch up the rotor blades a little bit. It didn't compromise them. And the third helicopter in my collective lineup is the brand new Blade Infusion 210. This is an all-new design with a main rotor diameter of 19.13 inches. It weighs in at just over 12.5 ounces ready to fly and utilizes the same 3S 850 milliamp pack the Revolution 235 uses. It has a lightweight carbon fiber frame, all aluminum hardware, an oversized tail boom, a brushless tail motor, and an oversized brushless direct drive main motor. Translation of that is, in the right pilot's hands, this is a 3D aerobatic weapon. This one is sold as a bind and fly. It's modern day Spectrum protocol compatible. You're going to have an array of smart telemetry at your fingertips, as well as access to forward programming where you can fine-tune the flight controller a bit if you'd like to do that. And it also comes with the smart transmitter file, which means when you bind the helicopter, you can upload a full setup directly into your transmitter and everything is done for you. All the switches and voice prompts are set. And something very cool about this particular smart transmitter file is it has something that no other collective Blade helicopter has, and that is Safe Select. It has the three modes. You have normal, stunt 1, and stunt 2, but instead of safe being baked into the normal mode only and not available in stunt 1 and stunt 2, safe and AS3X are now assigned to the A switch, or the gear switch if you're an airplane guy. That enables you to fly it in the normal mode or the lowest RPM and head speed without any self-leveling, without any pitch and bank angle limits if you'd like, or you can turn safe on and utilize it the same way you would with any of the other helicopters. But you can also turn on Safe Select in Stunt 1 and Stunt 2 at even the highest RPM and head speed when the helicopter is most aggressive, and you can get used to how sensitive and how responsive the helicopter is in those modes while in safe if you choose. So that's very cool. And of course, you always have access to that panic button in any mode, and that will self-level the helicopter even if you're not in safe. So very cool feature there. I think that's going to come in handy for me when I start flying in Stunt 1 and Stunt 2 more, and I'm of course more comfortable with it. There are accessories available as well. There's going to be some different color aluminum that you can put on your Infusion 210 if you want. Different bodies, different landing skids and tail skids with different colors, so you can really customize this thing. And an industry first, there's going to be a belt drive system that is available. It is a complete factory assembled tail boom, essentially, where you have a variable pitch tail rotor and a servo instead of the brushless motor. For traditionalists, if you want that, you want the feel of that, you'll be able to get it. It's basically bolt-on, and there's even a smart transmitter file for that, so that is automatically set up for you. I think the only thing you have to do is adjust the endpoints, and everything else is done. You can convert this helicopter if you'd like, and it will be super quick and super easy. Now, obviously, I can't do a whole lot with this helicopter, but it is worth noting that even though it is in the intermediate to advanced category, and it's kind of a skill level 2 or 3 helicopter, I can actually fly it if I take advantage of safe. I can actually fly it out of safe in the normal mode, believe it or not. It's definitely more sensitive than these because it's certainly more capable, but I can actually fly it. Not much, but here's what I can do. I'm in the normal mode here, got her pointed into the wind, and I do have Safe Select activated. I have to kind of warm up before I fly this helicopter because it's new and it is more powerful. You've got more RPMs, more head speed, it is more responsive. It keeps me on my toes even in the normal mode with safe activated. I really have to focus to stay on top of it. And now I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. I'm going to go into stunt one with this helicopter. You'll notice a much higher head speed, and yes, I am going to use safe. Honestly, I was just happy to hover it. So yeah, I can't do a lot. I'm new. I kind of suck right now, but that's what the journey is about. Getting to where I fly good and don't suck. That is what we're going to do. Really looking forward to this journey. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to bringing you along. I think in the next video that we post in this series, I'm going to show you what I'm working on and how I practice to kind of develop my skills. And I think that'll be the next video in this series. We are going to do a couple of other things. We'll put some links in the description, obviously, to the new Infusion 210, as well as the other helicopters. If you want to start your own collective journey, you can go through one of those links and check these out if you'd like, or if you just want to add one of these to your helicopter collection. When you use those links, it helps support our channel. When you do that, we appreciate it. Thanks very much. I'm also going to put a link in the description to a Horizon Hobby Flight Talk video that AV8R did. You can see what this thing can really do, because let me tell you, AV8R flies good and he doesn't suck. He's awesome. He demonstrates it stock and with the new belt drive option, so you can check that out and really see what this thing can do. That's it for us. Take care of yourselves. Happy flying. We'll see you next time with something cool with rotor blades.